Am I the arsehole? For being firm with my teenage half-sibling in Facebook DMs? I have been estranged from my father since I was 17 when I moved several states away to be with my grandparents. This was a decision made by him after the death of my twin sister. Our mom died when we were 7 and dad picked us both up and moved us so we could start afresh. He started dating one of our teachers within weeks of our move and they married and had more kids. When my sister was 15 she was diagnosed with cancer and she died after 2 years of fighting to stay alive. The last time she went into the hospital she told the nurses she only wanted me, our dad or our grandparents to see her and she did not want to see our dad's wife or the other kids. When dad heard this he decided we would not go to see her. I argued against his decision. He said our half-siblings wanted to be there and would always remember being denied the chance to say goodbye. I argued that the oldest two would remember at 8 and 7. But the others were 4 and younger and would not. I also said her final few days or weeks were about my sister and nobody else. He still refused and I told him I would never forgive him if he kept me from my sister, my real sister, the one I came into this world with and was supposed to have for my whole life at my side. He relented and I went every day until she died. My father said my actions meant I could not live there anymore or have contact with his family. He said he knew I didn't care and that I was going back with my grandparents. That was the last time I saw or spoke to any of them. I had a baby a few weeks ago. I named her after my sister's favorite flower. It seemed like a better way to honor my sister and give my daughter her own name. I posted about the story behind her name on Facebook and then my half-sister who would be 16 now contacted me on some random account and said I should not be naming my daughter after that girl and did I not think about the fact it will alienate my daughter from her family because my sister is a painful memory for her and her family now. I sat on the DM for a few days and then I replied firmly that I did not care about their feelings and they would not be around my daughter. I said I have every right to honor my sister and to please stay away from my Facebook page, which we're not friends on anyway, if she is bothered. I had to go private after this because I was inundated with messages from her and my half-brother who said I was an ass and cruel. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, but your father is a horrible one. He should have honored your sister's last wishes and supported her. Please try to remember that your half-siblings have been fed a diet of vitriol their entire lives and shouldn't be held responsible for their very skewed beliefs. That doesn't mean that you need to be open to them, so block away. Congratulations on your new little one, and I love how you honored your sister with the name. Firstly, sorry for your loss and the way you've been treated, but congrats on the baby. Secondly, obvious not the asshole, she's your daughter and her name is nothing to do with them. The fact they didn't see it as an opportunity to reconnect is a worrying sign of what your dad and stepmother have been saying all these years. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Your father was cruel and heartless during the worst time of your life. Not the asshole, of course. You did the right thing by stopping this circus right away. Your half-sister only sent you one message and it was a hateful one, which says a lot about what your life would be like with them. Congratulations on your daughter, you've given her a name with a beautiful meaning and it's a very nice gesture to honor your sister. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry for everything you've had to deal with and your father's absolutely disgusting behavior. This isn't your family, they have made that clear. Congratulations on your daughter. I think it's an absolutely beautiful way to honor your sister. Wishing you all the happiness. Not the asshole, what are they doing stalking your FB page anyway? Not the asshole, but your family are massive holes. They alienated themselves when they put their desires over the desires of your dying teenage sister. They are selfish and have no respect for you or your sister. It's probably good your dad made you leave because he and his other kids and wife sound toxic and mean. Congratulations on your daughter, I'm sure your sister would be honored her niece's name is in her honor. I had a baby a few weeks ago. I named her after my sister's favorite flower. It seemed like a better way to honor my sister and give my daughter her own name. This is a wonderful way to honor your sister's memory. Not the asshole, and I agree that you should protect your daughter from these toxic people. Not the asshole, Jesus fucking Christ, your sperm donor is a piece of work. So your dad and new family decided that your sister's cancer and death was about them? And they are still holding on to this BS? My dear woman, remove them from your thoughts, honor your sister in all the ways you want to as her sister, and raise your daughter to be the kind human you have become in spite of every reason in the world to be bitter. Not the asshole, you are the kind of person I would be proud to call my family. I'm sorry they don't see that. Their loss. You're not the asshole. People that make a tragic teenage death all about themselves are absolutely disgusting. Your sister is a painful memory for them? And your baby simply being named after a flower she loved is a trigger for them? They can fuck right off. She was your damn twin. And the way your father can throw away and replace family like that is also sick. I'm sorry for your losses. You will never be the arsehole over people that literally made a child's death into their own drama. It will alienate my daughter from her family. Lol, what? You were already no contact, what family is left to alienate? I wish there was a way that you could allow them to keep seeing your posts but block their messages and comments, cause seeing you continue to post about your daughter while you ignored them would probably drive them nuts. Not the asshole. Fuck them. Fuck all of them. The biggest R here, aside from cancer, is 100 your father. No real parent would ever try to be so cruel, or to teach their children how to be so cruel. Case in point, the message from the 16-year-old. Don't let them into your mind or your life. They're not worth the oxygen it takes to breathe angrily. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your daughter's name is a tribute to one you loved. That's what matters most. Not the asshole, but your father is one heck of an R, especially for not respecting one of your sister's last wishes. So sorry you went through all that. Your half-sibling's behavior sounds like a projection of your father's and stepmom's for sure. Plus, it's none of their GD business what you're naming your child. Congratulations BTW, 2 hearts. Not the asshole. I'm sorry for your losses, your mother, your sister and the one who once was your father but isn't anymore. Just block all the former relatives, try to forget about them. They don't have any right to your life, your story or your family. I'm so sorry. I lost my brother when I was 16. His first name is my son's middle. I would really struggle if someone came and gave me any hassle about that. Not the asshole. Block. Block them all. Congratulations on your daughter 20. Not the asshole. Honestly, your Facebook should be private anyway because any sort of bot can lift those photos of your baby and use them for advertisements. I've read stories about moms finding family pages featuring their own children. Not the asshole. But your dad and stepmom are major R. If I was up I would tell half-sister tell me how she will feel if her mom died tomorrow and dad started dating one of your teachers within weeks of her being dead. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry, your father is the cruel one and you deserved better. The audacity of your half-sibling is astounding. Not the asshole. Said I should not be naming my daughter after that girl, and did I not think about the fact it will alienate my daughter from her family? The answer here should have been what family? I had a baby a few weeks ago. I named her after my sister's favorite flower. It seemed like a better way to honor my sister and give my daughter her own name. This is absolutely beautiful and a lovely idea. Not the asshole. Your step-siblings are so far over the line they can't even see it anymore. Forget them and enjoy your beautiful daughter. Not the asshole. What? Am I the asshole? For demanding my cousin reimburse me for her kids? So I am a Dragon Ball fan. It's something I've loved since I was a child and I bought some merchandise over the years. Basically, I had a shelf in my room with some figures, some sets of Dragon Balls and a Goku drawing I worked really hard on. My cousin comes over unannounced today with her 3 kids, and now I love my cousin and her kids. I don't mind them stopping by even when I'm not there. My cousin's been like older sister mother to me all of my life. She told me they stopped by my place because the kids wanted to see me. I let her know I'll be back in a few minutes. I had just left to go buy some groceries. I return home, put my groceries up and speak with her and the kids. All is going well until the 14-year-old asks me for some money. I deny her request as I don't get paid for another week and nothing special is happening, so I'm not just out here giving money away. She gets infuriated and says I let her down. And yada yada. It's whatever to me, and we chill for a few hours and they leave. That was yesterday. I come home from work today and get a text from the 16-year-old saying I'm sorry Unc, she just said she left something there. I'm mainly relaxed since she has a habit of leaving things, and I go to my room. My shelf is annihilated, everything is thrown down and broken, all the figures are missing body parts, my Dragon Balls are broken, and that drawing I spent 3 months on finishing is cut to shreds. And some of my hoodies and shirts are gone. My Capsule Corp hat is gone. I broke down crying and called their mom. I tell her I need her key back and tell her what her daughter did. I then let her know she owes me about $1,500 over this, and this is me being generous. I've spent well over $3,000 on this whole thing, but I needed something back for this. She tells me she'll give me the key, but I'll be seeing no money from this. I tell her it's her responsibility since they are her kids, and she also just leaves the key open and in the world when I said it's meant for her, not her whole family. She said she didn't care and I'm not getting any money, that's it. I've banned her from my house until she pays me, and she says so be it and refuses to pay me, saying it's my fault for not locking my game room door. That door doesn't even have a lock. Am I the asshole for demanding she pay me back? Not the asshole. File a police report and report the loss to your insurance. If you don't have insurance, get it for future losses. A kid doesn't get money for no reason and then destroys a ton of property and steals your shit. That kid needs help. Your cousin isn't doing them any favors. FFS, this is an infuriating story. Edit: the 16-year-old helped the 14-year-old destroy and steal your property. Their mother doesn't care. She won't even partially reimburse you or hold her children accountable for their crime. Not the asshole. The 14-year-old is old enough to have to deal with the consequences of this, and I would have understood if cousin would have said she can't pay you back right away but we'll figure out some type of payment scheme. But the way she reacted is ridiculous. Makes me almost wonder if the money wasn't for 14-year-old but something else. Also info, how much was she asking for? Not the asshole. I would escalate the hell out of this, maybe even call the police and or take her to small claims. Not the asshole. Go to the police. I hate when people think they can get away with shit like this because they're family. File a complaint against her and take her to small claims court. Her kid wrecked and stole for over $3,000 worth. The mom doesn't care about your loss. F her. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. File a police report. Not the asshole. The children are minors, so your cousin is responsible for their actions, and this was most definitely not an accident. Even if your cousin couldn't pay this back herself, if she had a shred of integrity, she would make her kid get a job to pay you back for the damage they did. However, seeing as she did nothing to make up for the damage, and even tried to blame you for it, I can see where her kids get their morality. Change your locks instead of getting the key back. That way you know for damn sure your cousin's teenaged meat sirens can't get in the house and do more destruction. X200B. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If she doesn't pay you back, file a report with the police and claim on your insurance if you have any. File the report either way. Not the asshole, but do take her to small claims court. Not the asshole, but you'll never get your money back and your relationship with your cousin and her awful daughter is over. How she can defend her kid's behavior is crazy to me. I'm so sorry your things were destroyed. You could try filing in small claims court. File a vandalism report with the police and take her to small claims court. Also, the kid doesn't get one single gift or 1 red cent ever again. Assuming you live alone, why the heck would you need to lock a door to your game room? Cousin is grasping at straws. 14 is certainly old enough to know that actions have consequences. 14 needs to figure out a way to pay you back and or somehow make it up to you to your satisfaction. Insurance may help you out in the short term, but they'll want a police report. Not the asshole. By the way, it sounded like there were items missing. Let police know that in your report you might be able to get some things back. I'm thinking cousin was planning to sell them. Not the asshole. She has told you how she feels and obviously doesn't care to raise her kids right. Send her a message letting her know she now has 24 to 48 hours to pay you back or you will be filing a police report. Tell her that her and the 2 kids is banned from seeing and visiting you until further notice. That way the innocent one doesn't suffer. This is not a toddler, this was a 14-year-old girl, so she is spoiled and should be treated as such. No gifts nor extras for a long time, and the parent also. Wait, the 14-year-old asked for money, but the 16-year-old is the one who went back to the house on the pretense of having left something there, to commit destruction? Why, and why then did you mention the younger one asking for money? It's irrelevant. Also, why not tell their mom her daughter is paying for it? She can get a job or a police report gets filed. Not the asshole. File a police report. File a police report ASAP. Not the asshole. Sue her if you can. Not the asshole, obviously. Please file a police report and update us on what happens. My inner sense of justice is freaking out right now and I need your cousin to pay, literal figurative. File a police report and sue in small claims for the whole amount. Settle for $1,500 to drop the charges if you really want to. Not the asshole. As a juvenile probation officer who deals with delinquents daily, my recommendation is that you call the police and file a report. Depending on what state you're in, the juvenile delinquents will get charged with a crime. If this report came into my office, I would be requesting that the prosecutor file criminal mischief charges on each of these 2 children, the driver and the younger child who did the damage. I would then, when we go to court, recommend that the court order the parent to pay restitution to you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Small claims court it is. As others have said, file a police report and go after her in small claims court. I think you need to file a police report. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of damage, and if nothing else, you need it on file. And you need to change your locks, and I suspect you will no longer be able to have a relationship with her or her children, since she clearly doesn't see anything wrong with what her child did. And it's not your fault. You locked your apartment. You shouldn't need to lock that game room. Not the asshole. And I'm really sorry this happened. Do take pictures of everything and do file a report. Not the asshole, but everyone else is. I'm sorry. WTF. Did she even apologize on behalf of her daughter? What did she have to say in regards to her kid's egregious behavior? I have a 14-year-old kid. I could never see her being that disgustingly disrespectful. You may have seen this aunt as a second mom, but she did not see you as her child. You're not the asshole. And over you not letting her have money. The 16-year-old should have known better than to just let that shit happen. Just wow. I'm sorry. You should ask yourself, if you went to their home and destroyed a bunch of their valuables, would they go to the police or small claims? Your only options are go that route first or get revenge by behaving the exact same way. Am I the asshole? For serving bacon-flavored popcorn to vegans and making fun of them? The bacon-flavored powder is just salt and spices. I double and triple checked. It is vegan, halal, and kosher. I had people over to my house to play board games last weekend. It was Z potluck and BYOB, but we provided snacks. One of the snacks was popcorn and one of the flavor powders we had was bacon. We also had cheese and salt and vinegar. We had butter and margarine for anyone who wanted as well. One of my boyfriend's friends is vegan and so is his partner. We made sure there were vegan snacks. Both of them loved the bacon-flavored popcorn until someone told them what it was. Once again the popcorn was 100% vegan, popped in canola oil and with vegan flavor. Both of them went off on us for serving them meat. I explained that the flavor was just salt and spices, but they only got louder. I eventually got sick of their shit and pulled out the container of powder and asked them what ingredient they objected to. They read the label and went red-faced. They said I wasn't clear when I said it was just flavor. I'm pretty sure that is a full explanation and I said so. I asked them why they couldn't ask to see the package before scarfing down bags of popcorn. They called me an asshole and left. My boyfriend thinks I was harsh. I think they are idiots. Something doesn't add up. In the comments you're saying they seasoned it themselves and that the container was out next to the popcorn. In the post you say you had to pull out the container. So which was it? Not the asshole. You had people over and you made sure to have vegan snacks for them. As you said, you triple-checked it. There were non-vegan snacks and non-vegan popcorn choices. It sounds like they knew which was which. You went out of your way to accommodate them. It's like serving someone pumpkin-spiced lattes and that person getting pissed because they're allergic to pumpkin. Ain't no pumpkin in pumpkin spice. Ain't no bacon in bacon spice. Not the asshole. Anyone with food restrictions has an obligation to check. Grew up on a kosher household, quite happy to eat anything vegan. Info: what did you actually say when you made fun of them? I'm not sure if I'm reading the post wrong, but it just seems like you got frustrated when they refused to believe the flavoring didn't have any actual bacon in it. Also, did they put the flavoring on the popcorn themselves or did you put it on? If it was them, I can't imagine putting flavoring on my popcorn without checking what flavor it was. That's just weird on their part. Not the asshole. You didn't feed them meat or anything made with meat and you weren't particularly deceitful. They should have checked how it was made or flavored with if they didn't trust your preparation, and if they did trusted them, it makes even less sense that they'd immediately assume you fed them some meat product rather than one of hundreds of vegan meat mimics. As for them just eating meat-flavored things, you didn't know that. Normal people don't even think any vegans go that far. Most vegans eat stuff that imitates meat in some way. It might not have been a very good joke, especially by the results, but this wasn't that bad. Sorry, but if I have a bowl of unseasoned popcorn and an assortment of flavors in front of me, I am not going to close my eyes, grab one, and use it. I am going to read the labels to see what the flavors are. I am finding it difficult to believe that the vegans randomly chose a shaker labeled bacon and used it without reading the label. But sure, it could have happened. Not the asshole. You weren't going for a gotcha moment. You served a vegan food, they ate it and enjoyed it, they misunderstood what it was, they threw a fit, you explained it was vegan, they chose to stay mad. You're the asshole. People have nutritional preferences and it doesn't affect your own life in any way. Don't push your own ideals on others and respect people the way you want to be respected. You're the asshole, you're the asshole, you're the asshole. Not the asshole. I respect veganism, but you get an awful lot of tryhards using it as an excuse to be unbearable. Not your problem. Op is a bit of an asshole here. This could have all been avoided if you said, hey, that bacon-flavored seasoning over there that tastes and smells like bacon doesn't have any actual bacon in it. Instead you waited until they questioned what they ate after the fact. They said I wasn't clear when I said it was just flavor. I'm pretty sure that is a full explanation. No, it isn't. Flavor can come from anything, including meat. You could have said it's vegan, and that would have settled the matter there. Here's an alternative. Hey guys, we have snacks. These are bacon flavored but they're just spices to mimic the taste. It's 100 vegan. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to the game. But there was obviously a reason you didn't tell them. Not the asshole. Bacon is distinct flavor. They didn't eat that shit and not think it was bacon flavored. You made sure it was vegan, and you made sure the foods were properly labeled. That means they had the opportunity to see the name of what they were eating. Bacon should have been a tip-off for them. You're the asshole. Another made-up scenario for this dumpster fire subreddit door. Not the asshole. As a vegan, I triple-check everything before putting it in my mouth, even if I'm worried it'll annoy my friends or boyfriend. It's weird that they follow such a strict diet but don't actually check to see what they're eating. Someone who is that concerned will double-check. These two were obviously not that concerned. Not the asshole. Especially after reading your comments, it doesn't seem that there was any malicious intent. I keep kosher and wouldn't be mad if someone fed me something that said bacon on it as long as it was kosher. I don't see why this should be any different. If this was supposed to be an attack on them, I get that it could upset someone, but you don't seem to have an issue with them being vegan and put in effort to have snacks for them. Clearly marked what options were vegan, so I'm honestly confused at the people calling you the asshole. Your story is presented very different in your post to how you say it unfolded in the comments. If you are saying that the truth is that you had unflavored popcorn, and a shaker clearly labeled bacon, and then they got annoyed at you because you didn't tell them, then maybe not the asshole. But even then I think it would be fairly reasonable and easy for you to say, hey guys, BTW, one of the flavors is bacon, but don't worry, it is vegan. I get the impression you wanted drama, and now you are upset that you didn't get the drama you wanted. Question: where's the part where you made fun of them? You asked if you're the a-hole for making fun of them, but then in your story said nothing about making fun of them. So did you actually make fun of them, or did they simply claim you made fun of them? Because context is important. If you actually made fun of them, you're the asshole. If the vegans simply claimed you made fun of them before they left, not the asshole. I need clarification before placing judgment. Not the asshole. They are responsible for making sure their food fits into their diet, not you. They were rude and they doubled down on it. You're the asshole. You sound like you were trying to mock them. You succeeded, and that's very pathetic of you. Not the asshole. Sounds like a misunderstanding that they blew out of proportion. Not the asshole. They wanted vegan snacks and you provided vegan snacks. The name was suspect, but it was vegan and that's all that matters. Looks like they just won the opportunity to bring all their own snacks from here on out. You're weird as hell, in these comments. Not the asshole. Op made sure the snacks were vegan. Set the confirmed vegan snacks out as vegan snacks. When vegans ate the snacks and gets worried it's not vegan, Op explains they're vegan. What's the issue? Come on guys, I'm allergic to oranges, but don't scream and cry and piss my pants when I have some cream soda from a party punch bowl and jump for a second thinking it's got OJ in it. You're the asshole. Totally buried the lead by insisting that it's just spices. What matters is you knew they'd have a knee-jerk reaction to bacon, and served it without context. I would have at least let them know in advance, hey, this popcorn has bacon-flavored seasoning on it, but I did my research and it's completely vegan. Really hard to say without being there. The actual conversation and tone plays a huge part in who was an R. If UBF thinks you were harsh, then there is a real possibility you were an R in the conversation. So next time they will BYOB bring your own bacon. Suggested. Next time you see them they'll be full-blown cannibals. Where can I get this seasoning? The way you describe it sounds like you were intentionally laying a trap for them. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but like...
Am I the asshole? For keeping my brother's car after he destroyed mine. My grandfather left me his old car when he passed away. It is a convertible 1968 Dodge Dart. It was beautiful. I loved riding around in it when I was a kid. My grandfather loved that car. We used to work on it together. My brother was annoyed when I got the car. He felt that he should have gotten it. I'm sure he would have sold it. He inherited cash. In July, he asked me to borrow the car for a road trip. I said no. He begged, he had a girl he wanted to impress. I said no. He got our parents involved. We are both adult men in our 30s. But he is their favorite. They said I was being an asshole and that he should be allowed to borrow my car. I said I would do it on the condition that he wrote me a bill of sale for his car. It is just a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I said that if I got my car back in the same condition as I lent it out, then we could tear up the bill of sale. I guess that you can imagine. The dumbass had no idea how that old car handled. It is a boat. Plus it had a manual transmission. And if you floor it, you can watch the fuel gauge go down. He lost control of it and sideswiped a mountain. He had to get it towed back. He, very emphatically, did not impress the girl. I took the car to a mechanic for an estimate. You don't want to know. I told my brother that he just bought himself a car. I made up a bill of sale and sold it to him for $1. I then went and registered my new Jeep. My Dart wasn't my daily driver. I have a truck and my wife has a car. But I loved working on my Dart with my kid. She is young, but it was going to be hers one day. Well, now she has a Jeep Grand Cherokee. My brother is livid because he used his inheritance to buy it for cash. My parents are pissed off that I would be like this to their poor injured baby boy. I'm furious that I don't have my car anymore. My parents and brother came over to yell at me for stealing his car. I told him to call the cops. We could let them sort it out. Probably bad timing that my daughter pulled up in her new car at that moment. My family has been calling me about it. As soon as I tell them what he did to the Dart, they are on my side. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. He agreed to the deal. I'm sorry to hear about the car though. Wish you'd stood your ground about not loaning it to him in the first place. Your brother has always been the golden child. And never suffered any consequences. Your parents enabled his behavior. You told him what would happen if your car wasn't returned in the same condition that it left in. It wasn't. You followed through on the deal that was made. Not the asshole. No. You are smart. You had an idea what might happen. And now you own a Jeep. Sucks for your brother that he is a bad driver. Of course you shouldn't have let your brother touch your car in the first place. And if he wasn't used to using a clutch, who knows what it would cost to get a 55-year-old clutch fixed, but you bowed to family pressure. And here you all are. The owner of a Jeep. Again. It sucks for your brother. Lol. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and I would consider it really good timing that your daughter drove up in her new car when she did. Not the asshole. He destroyed the car that was your inheritance. So taking the car he used his inheritance to buy is fair. Your family needs to butt out. You're grown men and they don't need to stick their nose in it. Not the asshole. Actions have consequences and bruh needed to be an adult for a change. Not the asshole. I'm sorry. Your brother used inheritance money to buy a new car in cash? Not only is he bad with life choices, he is also financially irresponsible. I'd say other words, but it is bannable here. Not the asshole. Guy in his 30s should have had learned by now that actions have consequences. You made it very clear to him. Good stuff. Not the asshole. Your foresight was your saving grace. Imagine what would have happened if that wasn't in place. You probably would have had to go after him in the legal system and your parents would still be making excuses. Clearly not the asshole. Your only mistake was thinking we don't want to know the mechanic's estimate. We all absolutely want to know. Not the asshole. Your bro sounds like a loser. You, however, need to learn how to put down a boundary and stick to it. Technically YTA to yourself since your GPA and kiddo love the dart. Sell the Jeep and use the money to repair the dart. Inta. Makes my blood boil. I could say YTA for folding and giving it to him under such generous conditions. Not the asshole. I think you showed remarkable foresight in getting him to give you the title of his Jeep. Foresight, I'm assuming created by a long history of getting messed over by your brother. With your parents' full support. Yet, instead of finding satisfaction, this post makes me sad. Your brother and parents suck. Glad your other family is supportive. Dart is worth more than a 2021 Jeep Cherokee. In top shape. They're $70,000. Jeep is probably $30,000. You shouldn't have let him borrow it. You screwed your daughter because your parents are assholes. You're an adult. You should have said no. For letting him take the car in the first place. In the long run, the repair bills for cars with electric bases is going to far outrun a classic. Not the asshole. Play stupid prizes. Not the asshole. His parents can buy him a car. Not the asshole. How the hell do you sideswipe a mountain? Everyone knows mountains have the right of way. I'm sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. I'm sorry about your car. That's awful. Personally, I can't believe you let him borrow it at all. But you 100 are good to keep his. That's the deal that was made. And you still got the shorter end of the stick. Don't you have insurance? Wouldn't that cover the cost minus the deductible? You're the asshole. So you knew he couldn't drive it? And you let him? The car you supposedly loved? You clearly wanted this to happen. A body Chryslers with a manual transmission are worth a mint. I'm not up for convertibles. But I would love to have a 68 Dart with a stick. I don't think they handle like boats. But I can see where you'd think they would if you're not used to old cars. I'm sorry that happened. If you could watch the gas go down. It must have had a V8. Probably a 273. Maybe a 340. But if it was a 383, your brother is the worst. At least you won't have to remove the engine to change the spark plugs on the passenger side. Op smart. Not a 1968 Dodge DAC convertible, depending on condition, is worth $40,000 to over $115,000. Few-year-old Jeep worth maybe $20,000. So right off the top, OP lost $20,000 and could be much more on this deal. He should be getting at least another $20,000 in cash from brother, mom and dad. But he will suck it up and not be smart about all this. Not the asshole. But also, that is what insurance is for. Insurance can't replace memories. My brother is livid because he used his inheritance to buy it for cash. So, he destroyed your part of the inheritance. So now you get his instead. Seems fair. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You are old enough now that mammy and daddy don't get to dictate what you do. Learn a lesson from that. I misread Kara's cat and got so worried for a minute. Anyways, not the asshole. You're the asshole. Lol. Come on, man. Good vent though. I felt the seething rage. I'm so sorry. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole? For not changing my plans to accommodate my sister's baby. My sister just gave birth to my nephew last week. She's had several miscarriages. And even this baby was born 6 weeks premature. Understandably, she's being very precautious about who is able to meet the baby due to the surge of the flu and COVID. My husband and I are also expecting our first baby. But we're not due until November. This was a planned pregnancy and we found out we were pregnant soon after my sister announced her pregnancy. She was very excited to share the journey together. Before we had our baby, my husband and I planned a couple of last-minute trips for ourselves. We want to enjoy the last remaining months of being able to travel without the stress of baby while we still could. Months ago we discovered there was going to be a showing of our favorite play in a city 5 hours away. So we booked a fancy hotel, made dinner reservations at a nice restaurant, and took a couple days off to go. The day we checked into the hotel, my sister's water unexpectedly broke and she went into labor. She immediately called me and wanted me to drive the 5 hours back home. I asked her if I needed to be there, but she said the hospital was only allowing 3 people in the room with her, and one wouldn't be me. So I told her I didn't want to waste the thousands of dollars I spent on my trip to go to waste. She said fine, but that I wouldn't be allowed to meet the baby because I was traveling and who knows what kind of diseases I was going to pick up. I told her I understood, and wished her the best and to let me know how it went. Thankfully she had an easy labor and my nephew was born a couple hours later. She FaceTimed my husband and I telling us how it was a shame we couldn't meet him until we quarantined for 2 weeks. We said we were more than happy to wait. It had almost been 2 weeks when received a call from a close friend of ours who lives in a city 3 hours away that her husband, one of my husband's close college friends, passed away in an accident. The funeral is Saturday today, so we made last-minute arrangements to go. Now my sister is blowing up our phones and demanding we don't go because we will have to wait another 2 weeks to meet my nephew. I told her, once again, that we don't mind waiting to meet him, but she's saying that we don't care about him. I told her that I wouldn't expect her to change her plans because of my baby, so she shouldn't expect us to change ours because of hers. My parents aren't siding with either of us, which is making her even more upset. So am I the asshole for not changing my plans to make my sister happy? Not the asshole. Sister is mad you're adhering to the rules she set up. My parents aren't siding with either of us. Smart parents. Not the asshole. The passing of your friend, of course, was unexpected. You cannot miss giving your condolences. Thankfully your nephew is happy and healthy. 2 more weeks won't cause an issue. Your sister is understandably disappointed in the delay, but she needs to be realistic and understand the world does not revolve around her and baby. Not the asshole. You couldn't have foreseen having to go to the funeral. My condolences, and it wouldn't have been fair for you to lose out on your trip and money. Besides, you were already out of town when the baby was born, so you might have still had to quarantine anyways. Not the asshole. It's a newborn baby. You coming over to see it immediately isn't crucial to anything. Like, she can be upset that she wants you to meet it, I guess, sure. But you have your own life and it's not like you're saying I want nothing to do with this baby. Do not try to thrust familial pressures onto me, wench. What? Is it gonna remember that you weren't in its first month of existence? No, it's a baby. Not the asshole. You asked your sister if she needed you when the baby was born. She said no, so you continued with your plans. It's unfortunate that a friend died and I'm sorry for your husband's loss. Your sister is the one who is insisting you quarantine before meeting the baby. You're respecting her boundaries. Your baby is due November, right when they're usually winter viruses. I'd tell her the same information. Any bugs, travel, etc. She has to quarantine. Not the asshole. Life happens, OFC. She can't expect you to just ditch out of a trip just to sit in a waiting room. And then you followed her request to wait 2 weeks. It's no one's fault that the funeral was when it was, an OFC. It makes sense for you to go. I don't understand why your sister is freaking out about you following the rules she's set out. She can't try and enforce a 2-week quarantine and then try and complain that you aren't visiting. Not the asshole. You have a lifetime to spend with your nephew. You only get one chance to say goodbye. Not the asshole. The whole you gotta meet the baby thing gets intense and there's plenty of time. Having said that, give her a break and realize it's likely an incredibly emotional time for her. Do your best to accommodate and understand. But I see no wrong on your part here. She's likely coming off her pregnancy and postpartum hormones. But there is no good reason that you guys need to meet the nephew ASAP unless he's dying or something. I think it's awesome that you guys are willing to just quarantine until she's comfortable. But she doesn't have control over your movements or plans. Just over access to her immediate family. Which again, you guys seem very willing to work with her on that. Not the asshole. LMAO, you were already traveling and checked into the hotel when she called you. So no matter what, you would not have been able to see the baby if you left right away. She's having massive main character syndrome. Yes, you love your nephew. You are respecting all of her requests for his safety. And I'm sure you will be present in his life. But people only die once. You should honor your friend any way you see fit. Inta. Not the asshole. Your sister's logic doesn't make sense. Just traveling somewhere isn't inherently more risky than, say, going to a movie. Plus, she was actually fine with the fact that you traveled to see a play. She just was upset when you wouldn't leave immediately. So she says that you can't see the baby because you were traveling. But you actually can't see the baby because you didn't come home the moment she wanted you to. Your parents don't need to side with anyone. You're adults, you will make your own decisions regardless of whose side they're on. Not the asshole. How dare you follow her request? Not the asshole. You didn't time her early labor. You did not time your husband's friend's passing. That's just life. Not the asshole. You've got your own life to deal with. Sister needs to accept that. Not the asshole. It's a baby. All you are going to do is look at him. Talk about him. Ask how your sister is coping. Lie and say he's beautiful. You can do all that over Zoom. If your sister is that worried about germs, she isn't going to let you hold him. The baby won't remember who was there in that first month. It's like the first birthday party. It's more about the parents than the child. Not the asshole. Yes, it's absolutely the right thing for your sister to protect her baby, but she can't control you in the process. Your sister is obviously very excited about her baby and she expects everybody else to make tumhi baby a priority. That's simply not possible for others. I have a feeling this is going to be an ongoing thing when your baby arrives as well, and sister will continue to give unreasonable orders and be prepared for the inevitable. I've been a mother longer than you. Go to the funeral. Your nephew actually remember these few weeks. Not the asshole. I didn't meet my niece until she was 6 months old because that's when I could make the trip. The world didn't end. I still bonded with her. Etc. etc. Sorry, your sister has a main character fantasy. Am I the asshole for not wanting to be near a screaming baby while having drinks? A friend and I went to happy hour on Thursday to a brewery for drinks. We got a table and as we walked up, there was a baby at the next table. He is eating some mac and cheese and just yelling awawawa over and over in the minute we were near the baby. He seemed happy, but I don't like babies yelling, crying, or really making noise. It really bothers me. I asked my friend if she wanted to move tables and I told her I didn't want to be near a yelling baby. She says no. She thought the baby was cute and funny. She said happy babies making noise like that is the best. I told her I'd really like to move. I expressed that babies shouldn't be here. I know if this baby kept yelling, I wasn't going to enjoy myself. She says I don't know why it bothers me so much. She told me to not be an asshole. It's just a happy baby. I started gathering my things and told her I was leaving. I thought she was being very inconsiderate of how I felt. So I just left. Nah. She doesn't care about the noises a toddler makes and you do. You couldn't come to an agreement. If your intentions are to be surrounded only adults and drink liquor, I'd meet her at a bar as most. If not all breweries are family friendly. Nah. It's fine if you didn't want to sit there. It's fine that she didn't want to move. And it was a toddler. Not a baby. Babies don't eat mac and cheese. For the record, babies and toddlers like all other people make noise. Not the asshole. I wouldn't want to be near a screaming baby. Either. You have choices and you made one. If she was enjoying being in the baby's presence and wished to stay, that doesn't make her an asshole. You left because you'd find more enjoyment elsewhere. That doesn't make you an asshole either. Babies and toddlers make noise. Especially in a busy environment like that, you would still hear them even if you switched seats. Nah, just difference of enjoyment. You are pushing it by saying babies shouldn't be there. That's absolutely not your call, and it seems that it's a family-friendly place, not an adult-only. I would recommend going to an actual bar or other adult-only venues in future instead to avoid this. Nah, you each had different baby sound tolerance. A lot of breweries can be family-friendly. Most of the ones in my town are. Also, people in general make noise. Not just babies. Not the asshole. Seems like such a low-key request to move away from a baby making loud happy noises. Plus you were there for happy hour and I could see how that might kill the vibe. Don't blame you for leaving. Not the asshole for not wanting to listen to an annoying kid or any other person sitting nearby. The only people who have an issue with you are parents who know that their kid is annoying as fuck. And don't want to take accountability for their choices. Not the asshole. I have children and don't want to hear babies at a drinking establishment. I'm there for adult time. But your friend clearly has no respect for you, and that's kids' parents definitely are. WTF are people taking kids to breweries and bars like it's okay? That is exactly where adults go to escape children. Not the asshole. I don't want to be around screaming babies even if it's my baby. Not the asshole. You were seated near to something that bothered you. You wanted to move to where the auditory environment would be more pleasing to you. You didn't try to have the kid and their designate caregiver removed. Or make rude comments to them. You wanted to remove yourself from the immediate vicinity. It was a small enough request to make of your friend. Not the asshole. Babies are sensory nightmares for some people, including me. Nah. I wouldn't want to be near a screaming baby. Don't know why your friend would. But I'd probably leave. Not the asshole. I have 3 kids and listen to those fuckers yell all day, so when I go out for meals or drinks, last thing I want to hear is someone else's little asshole screaming in my ear. Not the asshole. I'm a mom of 4 kids and I would not want to hear that when I am trying to enjoy myself with my friends. The point, though, isn't whether or not the baby should be there or even if the noises were annoying. The point is that there was something that clearly bothered you and your friend didn't give a shit. Not the asshole, but your friend is a bit of one for not being willing to move so you were more comfortable. The parent and baby in this story are not the assholes either. Whether a baby belongs at a brewery or whether happy baby noises are inherently annoying are red herrings here. Op found the noise annoying, and even if her friend didn't personally, it would have cost her nothing to just move with Op. It's obnoxious to lecture someone else about what noises they should and should not find grating. Why would you even want to hang out with someone, knowing that they are sitting there in discomfort? I say this as someone with 2 kids who has brought them both to child-friendly breweries. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I often ask to move tables even if I'm just around a bunch of kids who are being loud and obnoxious. I get easily overstimulated by noise. And loud background noise is a lot different than random kids' toddlers screaming noise. Recently I did this when I was at an upscale-ish pizza place and a kids' baseball team came in and was seated next to me and my friend. We tipped generously. Also, I think your friend dismissing your desire to be away from the noise is kind of a DCK move. Friends should generally be amenable to and sensitive toward their friends' needs. Not brushing them off or telling them it's no big deal. You're the asshole. Mostly for expressing that babies shouldn't be here. It's a brewery, not a bar. Almost all breweries I've ever seen are family friendly. Not the asshole. You asked her nicely to move away from something that irritated you. She refused. In my opinion, regardless of what the source of the irritation is, when one's date asks to move away from it, one should simply do that. No one should have to be unnecessarily irritated while out trying to enjoy their time with a date. NTA. You should be forced to listen to STH you find unpleasant if you can help it. Moving tables would be so easy, but her friend didn't give a shit at you enough to bother. Not the asshole. You're allowed to have feelings and express them. Your friend is an for gaslighting you and minimizing your feelings. Moving tables isn't a heavy lift. Your friend sucks. I moved tables once in a restaurant because a guy at the table next to me was chewing with his mouth open. The absence of a loud baby wasn't going to ruin your friend's night, but the presence of it would ruin yours. I'm of the belief that if someone is bothered by something, it overrides someone enjoying not caring about something. She should have moved for you. Not the asshole. You're the asshole. Breweries that have restaurants and serve food are for families too. They are not meant to be bars. If you don't want children around, don't go to a restaurant. Go to a club or a bar. You're the asshole. There was no screaming baby in your story. There was simply a baby babbling. Your tolerance levels are ridiculously low. Your friend should have just moved tables. It's not a big deal, but you up and leaving is weird, and if I had been your friend, I would probably never make plans with you again and would think you were nuts. Not the asshole. You offered an option. She didn't like it, so you left. Her being mad about it and inconsiderate of your very clear feelings makes her an Not the asshole. Not like you told the parents to make their baby shut the hell up, which would be pretty rude. You just acted like an adult and said, hey, let's just move. You're definitely not an asshole here. Not the asshole. Babies are annoying ASF sometimes, and I wouldn't want to be sitting near one either when trying to have drinks. Sorry, woman shrugging, light skin tone. Not the asshole. You weren't comfortable, you left. No problem. Not the asshole. You can choose to not be around a noisy baby. A baby of any kind at happy hour seems a bit odd anyway. Leaving was the choice for you.
Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister-in-law to my wedding? My F28 brother Tom 37 has 2 kids from his first marriage. Me and my brother get along well. The kids love me and I love them. The problem is my brother's new wife Kate. They got married last year and I was happy about them. I really liked Kate as we are same age and could relate to many things, until I realized she despises me and badmouths me to our friends. After confronting Kate about why she dislikes me, she said that it's because I keep in touch with Tom's ex-wife Luana. The 2 of them divorced on good terms and has 50-50 custody of their kids. I still meet up with Luana occasionally to plan things for the kids' birthdays and holidays, as Luana and the kids are my family. Kate complained about it to Tom, to which he said he can't tell me what to do with my friendship with Luana. Since then Kate has done everything in her power to prevent me from meeting Tom and his kids. I can only see them when they're staying with Luana. We have a tradition of family vacation each May. Tom was invited to come with Kate and they did. Kate knows I'm allergic to pineapple, but she still mixed the cocktails with pineapple juice. She said it's orange juice, so